Welcome to the lair of the Batty Boffin.
Hi there Batty fans, a little bit more fractions with the Batty Boffin. Now this time we're not going to be adding fractions or times anymore or combining them in any way. We're actually going to be doing some of the kind of more real life questions where we're using fractions in everyday life. So for example, here's me having a party and I want cakes. Cakes are good, but I'm rubbish at making them. So I go along to my friend and say, have you got any cakes for me? Sure, she says, I've got 93 cakes you can have. Brilliant, I say, that's wonderful. But she says, you can't have all of them because I need some for something else. You can have 2/3 of my 93 cakes. Well, how many is that? So let's work out how many is 2/3 of 93. Well, let's have a start off by thinking that of in maths is written, of in English is written times in maths. So 2/3 of 93 is how we would write that in maths. But easier than finding 2/3, let's just find 1/3. 1/3 of 93. Another way of writing that is 93 divided by 3, or even 93 divided by 3. Whichever way you prefer to write it, they're all the same thing. Some people like that, some people like that, and some people like that. Makes no difference. All of them come out to the same answer. How many 3's in 93? There are 31 of them. Yeah? 3's into 9 go 3, 3's into 3 go 1. So 1/3 of the cakes is 31. And if 1/3 of the cakes is 31, then 2/3 is 62. Easy as that. So if you need to find, say, like 4/5 of something, find 1/5 and then times it by 4. Easy peasy. Now another way of doing them that you may prefer, I'm going to set out down here. That one's kind of doing it in words. This one's kind of more doing it in the maths notation. Here I planted some seeds, and I planted 45 seeds. And when they grew and I gathered the crop, I found I'd actually got more than I started with, which is good. That's hopefully what you got. And I had in fact 1 1/3 of what I started with. So I'd got the number I started with plus a bit more, and we want to find out what that is. Well, 2 ways I could do that is find 1/3 and then add it on, but I'm actually going to do the whole lot as a maths sum here. So I want to know 1 1/3 times by 45, but to make it look like a fraction, I'm going to write it as 45 over 1. Any number can always be written as a fraction if you want, just by putting it over 1. Okay, so there I've just got a fraction multiply, and those are dead easy. So for fraction multiplies, we never work with mixed numbers, always work with top heavy fractions. So 1 1/3, that's equal to 4/3 times by 45 over 1. Now we could do a bit of cancelling down here, or we could just go straight. I'm going to go straight for the multiply, I think, because it's not too difficult. 4 lots of 45. So to times by 4, we can double it, then double it. Okay, so 45 doubled is 90, doubled is 180. 180, ooh, tricky one on the bottom, 3 times 1, that'll be 3. 180 over 3, well, that cancels down by 3, and that comes out to be 60. So that means that I have got 60 seeds. And that's right, because if I've got 1 1/3, that's all the seeds I had plus 1/3 extra. 1/3 of 45 is 15, and when you add on 15 seeds, you get 60. So that works. So I'm going to put a few more on the next board. I'll just wipe that. See you in a minute. Right, here are a few word problems for you to try. First of all, we've got what is 6/7 of 49. So for that one, I suggest you just find 1/7 and then simply multiply it by 6. Easy. Here, we've got a slightly differently worded one. We've got £250 and you're told to increase it by 2/5. So what you'll need to do there is find 2/5 of your £250 and then add it on. Don't forget to add it on at the end. So you should end up with a number bigger than £250. And for the last one down here, we've got find 3/4 of 16. 3 1/4 of 16. So you could either turn that into a top heavy fraction and then multiply it by 16 over 1, or given that the numbers are actually going to get quite big on that, probably I'd find 3 lots of 16 and then 1/4 of 16 and then add them together. Okay, so have a go with those and I'll go through them with you afterwards. Right, starting with the blue one. I hope you know your 7 times table. We need to find 1/7 of 49. That's simply 7. 7 sevens are 49. Therefore, 6/7 is 42, being 6 times 7. If you don't know your 7 times table, you might have found that one hard. Okay, for here, we need to know 2/5 of 250. Well, 1/5 of 250 is £50. So 2/5 is £100. So the answer is 350. We have increased it by 2/5. Yep, 350 is the answer. For the last one down here, I'm not going to do that as a fraction multiply because I'll end up having to do quite big numbers up there. I want 13 times 6, and frankly, I like numbers, but there's easier ways of doing it, and maths is all about find the easy way and do that. No point doing it the hard way. So I'm going to do 3 lots of 16. 3 lots of 16 is, I believe, 48. You can do 3 lots of 15 is 45, and then 3 lots of 1, that's another 3, 48 on there. And 1/4 of 16, that's easy, that's just 4. So the answer is 52. Hope you got that one. Okay, that's all from this video. I'll see you another time, Batty fans.